Hello, this is AYB. Since I'm working on Opbr guides, I've decided to do one for Survival 100. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll add some tips and tricks to help you beat Survival 100 within 5 minutes with any unit, even if they're not at max level, max skills, or even boosted. With that said, I noticed that over 80% of you guys haven't subscribed yet, so if you're enjoying my content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on future guides. Now, onto the intro.
Changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life and I won't look back ever again.
Leveling up units is important in Opbr, obviously, right? But that's where Survival 100 comes in. It takes longer than spending your XP orbs, but you won't waste your valuable resources, and you'll get to play the unit you're leveling up, understanding their skills and abilities. You can also obtain XP orbs for other units if the total amount of XP earned is more than your units need, but the amount will be halved. So let's say I use my raid Nami in Survival 100 and get a total of 1000 XP. Since as of recording this video, Nami's already maxed out, I'll get 500 XP orbs. You'll have 2 total chances for Survival 100, and chances refresh every 12 hours. For more chances, or if you hate waiting that long, you can buy tickets from the Battle Point shop. You can buy tickets from the Battle Point shop every day. Go all the way to the bottom for the tickets and some other goodies you should buy every day. With that said, I'll go over Survival 100 itself. The first few enemies are simple, but the main ones you need to focus on are pretty much the ones Luffy either fought or met in order of the anime. So first is Higuma, then Kobe and Alvida, then Shanks and Usopp, then Helmeppo and Captain Morgan. Oh, maybe it's not in order. Anyway, Kabaji and Buggy, Django, Bucci, and Kuro, etc. So on and so on. Most of these enemies shouldn't give you too much trouble, even if your unit's at level 1. But keep these things in mind. Buggy has an invincible skill, so make sure to dodge his attack. Long-range units like Usopp, Helmeppo, Officer Chu, Ace, and some of the NPC enemies tend to move away from you since they can fight from a distance, so get in close and take them out first. Vivi and Dawn Creed also have long-range skills. The former just knocks you back while the latter actually poisons you, so be careful. There are also enemies that can inflict other status ailments, so Vivi and Django can confuse you, Enel can shock you, Kuzan can freeze you, Akainu and Ace can burn you, and Whitebeard can tremor you. Be sure to either dodge their attacks or KO them as fast as possible. And then there's also Smoker, who can be pretty darn annoying to be honest, since he can dodge so well. Him and Crocodile, so be sure to take them out first as well. Of course, you probably won't get Kuzan, Akainu, Ace, and Whitebeard in one shot. If anything, they'll be your main obstacle for not only completing Survival 100, but also obtaining the achievement. This is why I'll go over what I do and give you more tips on how to complete this mode within 5 minutes. Hello? So, on Survival 100, I'm currently working on Brokeworks Spawn Clay. Not too many reasons for it other than I really liked his cola version. And it's Bon Clay, I mean, this one twerks, so man, I love them twerkers. But anyway, as you can see, I haven't boosted him at all, but here's my medals. Yeah, I'm just using the usual Luffy set that I normally use. Has quite a lot of attack, a bit of defense, and HP as well. Just average stuff. I also haven't worked on his skills. I really think I can complete Survival 100 with them without really working on much of anything with him. If that changes, you'll see it in the video when I finally finish it. So yeah, that's all I want you guys to know. But with that said, let me play him. Get it, make it rain. Anyway, I'll focus. They're just typical enemies, and then I usually want to go for Higuma. Higuma's not very hard anyway, but you know. And now we start getting the ones that are long range, but you know. Focus on them if you want, but they're not usually an issue, they're just an annoyance. And now there's Usopp. You want to focus on Usopp first. As you can see, he was a bit of a distance away from us. Hamepo was doing the same thing, but as you can see, I'm getting in close and KOing him. Then I'm just going after Morgan. And now I'm just going for Kabaji. Now I want to go for Buggy, which is kind of weird. I expected him to use his invincible skill, but he didn't, so I don't know. He usually does when I don't KO him fast enough, so I don't know. Just going with Django and then Kuro. These guys aren't too hard. Now you just get a few more enemies. When it comes to using your skills, I recommend saving your skills for certain enemies. So sometimes I use my skill on Mihawk. I think he's one of the first few enemies that can dodge your attacks as well. So keep that in mind too. I'm not sure if there's any other enemies before that though. Not that I've seen, I don't think. But anyway, yeah. I usually just save my skills for the big enemies that usually give me trouble. Or I usually save my skills for like the Arlong Park troops, so I just took out Officer Chu since he's long range and he's pretty annoying. I usually end up taking out most of his crew and just have to deal with Arlong himself. Now I usually just deal with Buggy again. I think he has an invincible skill again, so yeah, that's why. But Alvida is pretty annoying too, so preferably want to deal with both of them at the same time. Do what you can, really. It all depends on what unit you're using. But yeah, I'm trying to get Smoker. And she can be annoying too. But I don't really focus too much on her. Then I go after Vivi. I want to go after Wobble, but he was more aggressive than usual, honestly. That's the frustrating thing about Survival 100 too. Sometimes this can take luck as well. Because some of the enemies will just wait a second before they attack you. Other ones will they'll just be very aggressive for no reason. Crocodile, be careful, he can dodge your attacks. Just take him out quickly. But yeah, just get used to using your unit, whichever one you're using. Make sure you know their like hitbox and their range, you know. That way you can time your attacks. And now time for Moria. Really, you just want to attack Moria a little bit, knock him down, or just take him out quickly and focus on the other grunts. But you can also just KO the other grunts while you're working on Moria too, chipping down at his health. Usually Moria stops after a few seconds before he starts attacking you, which gives you plenty of time to just work on the NPCs around him. Honestly, that's my only strategy for this part. Moria has a ton of health, so just be sure to knock him back if you can, and focus on the other enemies. Wait until they're taken out and then focus on Moria. None of the other main enemies will come out unless Moria's KO'd, so, you know, you don't have to worry about Akainu or Aokiji unless Moria's down. Yeah, as you can see, they just came out. But I have both of my skills for them. That's why I was saving my skills for these two. These guys can be kind of difficult, and yeah. Kuzan just froze me. And Akainu is aggressive like usual. They both seem to be pretty aggressive this time, so... yeah, and as you can see, Akainu took me out. That's usually how it goes sometimes. It's either Ace... you'll see that later, but it's usually Ace, Whitebeard, Kuzan, or a Kainu that ends up taking me out and just ends the run, so that sucks, but yeah, that was Bon Clay. Now I've decided to use Whole Cake Island Nami this time. This time it'll be a lot faster since I won't have to worry about leveling her up. She's already maxed out and she's already got her boosts, her skills up and everything, so. Do you like that she's long range? So yeah, let's focus on Higuma again. Well, try to focus on him. Sometimes you just can't aim at the right time, can you? What I like about her first skill, if there are any enemies around her, they'll get shocked. As long as that skill's active. Sometimes it doesn't work in my favor though, but you know, sometimes it does. But as you can see, just taking on the units that I want to take on first. But for the most part, it is very easy. Survival 100 tends to be pretty easy for 4-star units especially, EXs especially. It also depends if you worked on them or not. So if you completely max out a unit, you shouldn't have any problems with Survival 100, to be honest. But if you're still having trouble, just look what I'm doing, you know? I'm just focusing on certain people first and using my skills when necessary, you know? I was waiting for that lightning to get buggy. Just gonna take out Vivi with that. I could have used it for Waffle, but Nami just does so much attack that it doesn't really matter for what the Waffle. Just took out Crocodile. Just gonna take out Moria, and hopefully as many of these NPCs as possible. Yeah, okay. I don't know why it didn't get that one since he's running away like a bitch, but it's fine. Oh, I finally got a perfect dodge, cool. Perfect dodges are very, very good. At least in this mode. Especially depending on what units you're using. But if you're using units like 2-star or 3 stars that you haven't really built up, then you want as many as possible. And oh my god, that skill. It's killed my run so many goddamn times. Fuck you, Ace. Anyway. But yeah, that was Survival 100. Again, very easy if you just work on your units. At least for 4-star units, you know, Step Ups, Bounty Fests, EXs. They're pretty easy. But yeah, to reiterate everything, you know, just to make sure you guys can complete the Survival 100 in under 5 minutes, just be sure to focus on certain units first, take out certain units first, especially if they're long range, or if they cause you a lot of issue, and be sure to just keep trying, you know? These things can take time, and sometimes it does require luck. Sometimes you just get unlucky and get KO'd or burned by Ace or something. It just happens. And that's it for the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for my future videos. Thank you for watching and have a good day.